I gotta say, I didn't have as much of a negative experience with the homeless people as everyone was saying.
I didn't have that bad of experience. Yeah, it's a lot better than it used to be. It's like
But it is
a
also
lot
like
better.
jacked guy walking around in skin tight shirt, not
Yeah, you're
molested
also
by
doing
home.
the thing where it's like you're like tall and jacked, and you're like, dude, it's super safe. So, and there's like a small girl who's like, they broke into my house yesterday.
And I'm also like walking around like, and I think they can sense this, but like I want something to happen, and like something to
Yes.
happen includes like them to fight me. So like I'm like walking around like, is this one gonna do it? Like, are we gonna?
No, you're clearly a guy who's like walking around with like, I wish would attitude. Like you walk around like, dude, I kind of walk around like this too sometimes. It's just like I did like I do. Like I wish a brother would, bro. Like I hope someone tries some shit. Like it would be incredibly entertaining to me, frankly, if someone did try something.
And I'm now at the point where it's like I don't even need to win. Like I just need to feel something. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and this is like the person you least want to fight, right? Is like the guy who's
holy
fighting you because like he just wants to. Like,
Jesus. Yeah. I mean, just, yeah, completely correct. Like, dude, there's a lot of times when I've just been like, I hope something happens. Dude, it's like probably like actually really bad. I probably shouldn't. Random fucking numbers, like all over the world, like different extension. Like the last one I just got right now was from Brazil.
I just got one from Washington like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I get Florida a lot actually. I always wonder if there's like some, like, do they really like me in Florida, or do they really dislike me in Florida, or like what's going on here? But yeah, I keep getting random calls, and these people I pick up, and there's dead silence on the line. And then I go,
And then they hang up
hello,
after 15
and then
seconds.
they immediately
and then,
hang up
and
the
then you get
second.
a swarm of like 600 new phone calls from people in the
Yes.
same region, right?
And then the phone calls multiply. It's like my politeness in like picking up the phone. Have you ever gotten like a phone call that you really didn't want to miss from like a random number? I have.
So I basically haven't, but I'm gonna say also, you're basically doxing when you say this that you don't live in America, because everyone in America has had this happen for the last 5 years. So like you're saying,
No,
like,
I've had this happen to me for like multiple years. It's also like pretty doxed that I spend a lot of time outside of America by this
okay,
point.
I just wanted to make sure that you
Yeah, we're good. Keep rolling.
nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just what's weird is they wait for me to talk, and then only once I talk do they hang up. And like I'm just very confused about like what is the emergent behavior? Like this is clearly some kind of scam, right? Because it's not free to run infinite phone calls, and probably a lot of these are getting like pinged as spam somehow, one way or another. And so the question is like, what do they get from me saying hello and then hanging up? Like, is it literally just a humiliation ritual? Is
No,
it literally just some
I think it's like they
guy?
get a database of phone numbers, and like half of them are dead, half of them are live. They need to figure out which ones are live to send the real scammers after. So they have like a robocaller call all of them, and then if you pick up, you're now marked as a real number. And now
You're
they
like the
send
retard who picks up like
yeah. So
numbers
it's
he
like
doesn't.
if you ever picked up, you fall for the trap, right? Like it's like fell for it
Yeah.
again award if you ever answer. So that's why this is why phones have been like completely fucked in the US, because you can't randomly call someone, because everyone is like, this is the mental calculus. It's like 98% chance this is adding me to some sort of scammer database where I will just infinitely be called by annoying people from Indonesia. 2% chance it's like my boss like lost his work phone, and like he needs to reach me
Yep.
right now for
And I'm
like a
about to get
massive
fired if I
emergency.
don't pick up this call.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
or I've actually had like a couple people. Dude, I'm just like the luckiest wallet losing person of all time. You saw this happen in San Francisco. I'm like the only guy who had like a random migrant return, or not return my wallet, but like there was a decent amount of cash. I usually walk around with like $400 cash or $500 cash in my wallet, and like left my wallet in a random Uber, went to pick it up, all the money was there. I'm like the champion of like wallet boomeranging. Like just really like I don't deserve this wallet boomeranging, man.
I do that with
I
my
had
phone.
I had one where I was going from Berlin to Amsterdam, Amsterdam to Helsinki, and then flying back through Amsterdam to Madrid a few years ago. And I lost my wallet in Amsterdam, came back after Helsinki, and I had like a WhatsApp text. And someone was just like had left my phone at the my wallet at the police station. Like I'm just get super lucky with this stuff, man. So I feel like I need to pick up because maybe I'm getting really fucking lucky again, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah. Have you just never gotten a useful call? Like literally never? What are you gonna do?
So anyway, though, I would like to welcome you all back to another episode of the Plausibly Deniable Experience, sponsored by Polymarket, Zcash, Passage Press, and Citizen X.
Yes.
This is another episode where we are not in person, but this is the first episode that will have been edited with the help of the first employee, the first full-time employee.
The employee. We have acquired an employee, man.
We're not
gonna say who they are, but brilliant individual.
Can we say what they went to school for? I think we can.
So
right?
This is the thing. It's like I think we can, but I'm just in this position where like I kind of want to say, like I'm sure at some point we'll want to say what his handle is, and
now we're like
it's like if we want to say what his handle is, we should probably ask. But like, let's just suffice to say that this person is like extremely overeducated.
He's like an extremely credentialed person, and
yeah,
he just
comically over
getting the credential, and the first thing that he does, work for the most credentialed podcasting institution on the planet.
The top podcasting institution. Many are saying, dude, the top podcast.
Literally everyone is saying.
Dude, everyone is saying this. It is really funny how we've talked about this before, and this is like disgusting self-glaze, but truly half of our podcast listeners are like unemployed, like crypto airdrop farmers, and the other half are like GP who manages like a $250 fund would be really funny. $250 million fund. It is like it's either a guy who manages $250.
Yeah, I work at a family office. Like,
yeah,
what's your AUM? About 250.
250, and they're like, oh, that's pretty nice. Like, how many people work there? And it's like,
decent.
oh, it's my own money. Oh shit, dude, you're loaded.
Wow,
like,
dude,
damn,
you're really rolling. Yeah. It's like, and then later you realize when he starts talking about three-figure hell.
Yeah, it's like three-figure hell, dude. That would be so.
I heard someone
funny.
say, "Bro, I had to drop mid three figures on a dinner the other day."
No shot. Someone said that. Dude, we had a great time in SF. We had some great dinners. We met a bunch of aforementioned. We met both the three-figure and the nine-figure podcast listeners, which was great. The three-figure podcast listeners really got to get they need to up their game and like just get on all the welfare programs.
Well, okay, the thing is, there's actually not like a difference in capabilities between the three-figure and the nine-figure podcast listeners we have. It's just that like the three-figure ones are using all of their time.
We are controlling for like people who've managed to meet us in real life, but yeah.
I guess that's fair, yeah. But it is like if you had focused on anything else other than like remaining anonymous on the internet, like if you would put the same amount of time and effort as you do into being anonymous online, into making money, you would have like $8 million, right?
It's a little optimistic, but yeah, in that range for sure.
I mean, definitely at least low seven figures, right? Like,
yeah, no. I agree with the theory of what you're saying. Absolutely. We had some great time with people. We did call them retarded for listening to our podcast in real life, and they were like, "Yeah, man, but it's like the best one." I think everyone who listens to a podcast is just like understands that there's like 2 hours a day that like you need to microwave your brain for, and it's like it's either the plausibly deniable experience or it's like Instagram Reels. It's like one of these is way worse than the other.
Yeah, it's like how everybody comes home from work and they like sit on the couch with their wife and they just watch like
dude.
The
And like we used to make fun. Like
I
made
the
fun of people.
Bachelorette, or you can watch the Plausibly Deniable Experience, right?
Yes. Yeah, we could add like some kind of like ASMR split screen for like your wife, for your void that you have in your apartment that she's like babe, I want to watch The Bachelorette. We just add like the muted Bachelorette. Like there's a third square. It's just The Bachelorette but muted. That would be pretty fucking funny, dude.
We could do that
Holy
thing
shit.
that all the YouTube scammers do where they add like, you know how they have to have the overlay that like shimmers so that the YouTube algorithm doesn't detect it and ban them instantly for showing copyrighted content?
Yeah.
We add like the plausibly deniable blue like cyan wave like shimmering across the Bachelorette.
That would go hard.
I think it would actually go like extremely soft, man. I think that would be like the worst visual effect ever.
It would be.
Dude, I think we gotta start going through our topic list, man. I think the other thing is we can't talk that much about San Francisco because I noticed ever since I had in San Francisco in my name, everyone on X, like it's like 1 out of 10.
Dude, they all treat you like you're a massive loser. Like everyone
No,
who's not a
like
San Francisco.
they treat you like you're like some coastal elite. Like they're all saying like you people are trying to replace my job and we should bomb the city of San Francisco. Like you should be glass. And you're just like, dude, like I came here for vacation for like a few weeks.
Dude, horrible vibes to put like in San Francisco.
Yeah, and also I've
thing.
noticed like the only people who use the X like where are you located feature are people in San Francisco. Nobody else wants to tell the world where they are located except people in San Francisco. And it's this weird like it's the place where you most get shit on for being there from other people, right?
Dude, it's just not good. It's horrible vibes to say you're in San Francisco. Like, just never say you're in San Francisco ever for any reason whatsoever.
Well, I'm now
horrible.
leaving it in my name because I think it's kind of funny. Like, I like when people respond to me telling me, like, they're just sending me, like, egregious death threats because I'm saying that I'm in this city, which is really funny to me.
You love doing those kinds of memes, too, I will say. You're like You're a big guy about doing those kinds of memes. It's like, oh, I want to do I'm gonna ironically do the thing that sucks in a way that it like is only bad for me.
Mm-hmm. It's just very funny to see somebody get like this mad over like something that is wrong, right?
Yeah,
like.
Dude,
the idea
and people
that somebody,
will be like,
somebody
"Oh,
will develop,
you're an
they'll
SF."
develop an entire like cope projection personality for you based on the fact that like 2 months ago you put in San Francisco in your Twitter name because you went there on vacation and you haven't taken it out because you thought it was funny that they kept threatening to kill you.
People are really bad at like figuring out the quote unquote the vibes.
Also, I don't think
your
anyone has ever
account.
been there. Like none of these people that are saying these things, I don't think they've ever visited the city, which makes it funnier.
Well, that's
Like
obviously
I don't think
true.
their opinion would necessarily change. It's just like if you ask me like what my opinion is on any city that I've never been to, I kind of don't have one, you know? Like what do you think of like
I disagree.
Oskaloosa, Canada or
I'm
something?
giga
You're like,
opinionated on things I know nothing about. I'm just not gonna lie about it. Like, what do I gain by lying about this, man? Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I'm super opinionated about things that I have no idea about. Like you've seen me do this on the podcast. Like Lucas will be
I
like
guess
talking
I
about
am
like
too, but
screws
just
and
not
bolts.
places.
You'll be talking about like screws and bolts, and I'll say some super retarded shit. Like just giga.
You'll
like,
sometimes do these
super
really
stupid
weird
things.
opinions where you'll have like a hyper specific opinion on some like technical aspect of metallurgy that is like it's like one
Just
thing
something
that you heard.
super technical that I have zero idea about, and I
Yeah,
like
like
to
one.
shoot.
You
I
heard
am
one
like
guy
a
with
super
autism say something like 7 years ago, and you're now like repeating something that like someone who sounded sufficiently knowledgeable said to you about like the crystalline structure of like a certain type of like iron, and it's just like wrong or you've like misremembered it or something. But like nobody's ever called you out for it because nobody else has ever taken a metallurgy class. And then you run into like the one guy who's taken like material science classes, and he's like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck did you just say to me?"
No,
dude?"
actually, total truth nuke. I talk on my ass all the time, dude. I just enjoy talking out of my ass. Okay, man. Like, can you hate a brother for talking? Like, it's fun to talk out of your ass, man. It's enjoyable. Okay, it is like it is
Again,
just
I
a
do
fun
it all
thing
the
to
time.
do.
But it's like you got to calibrate your LARPs, man. You can't come.
Yeah,
to
you
me.
do have to calibrate.
You can't
If
BS
you do it a
me
little
about metallurgy and material sciences, sir. Like,
Dude, the like just pay the taxes posting, if you do that, you actually just deserve like the worst. Like
Okay,
you
what
are
he's
just
referring
like
to, nobody else knows. He assumes that everyone else has seen this, but there's a type of person who lives in California, and like every time they post a picture of like the weather being beautiful or whatever, they caption it like "just pay the taxes, bro," as in like this is so beautiful that it justifies the government taking like 70% of your
it's
income.
not even the taxes, it's like the homeless, it's everything, man. It's like that's the other thing. Like they always bring up the taxes. It's like, bro, the taxes are the least of your worries, man. Like
I gotta say, I didn't have as much of a negative experience with the homeless people as everyone was saying.
I didn't have that bad of experience. Yeah, it's a lot better than it used to be. It's like
But it is
a
also
lot
like
better.
jacked guy walking around in skin tight shirt, not
Yeah, you're
molested
also
by
doing
home.
the thing where it's like you're like tall and jacked, and you're like, dude, it's super safe. So, and there's like a small girl who's like, they broke into my house yesterday.
And I'm also like walking around like, and I think they can sense this, but like I want something to happen, and like something to
Yes.
happen includes like them to fight me. So like I'm like walking around like, is this one gonna do it? Like, are we gonna?
No, you're clearly a guy who's like walking around with like, I wish would attitude. Like you walk around like, dude, I kind of walk around like this too sometimes. It's just like I did like I do like I wish a brother would, bro. Like I hope someone tries some shit. Like it would be incredibly entertaining to me, frankly, if someone did try something. Um,
And I'm now at the point where it's like I don't even need to win. Like I just need to feel something. Like,
yeah, yeah.
and this is like the person you least want to fight, right? Is like the guy who's
Holy
fighting you because like he just wants to. Like,
Jesus. Yeah. I mean, just yeah, completely correct. Like, dude, there's a lot of times when I've just been like, I hope something happens, dude. It's like probably like actually really bad. I probably shouldn't.
I
I probably should
realized also.
not be
So
like that.
for those of you who are unfamiliar with how this went, I injected 2 milligrams of Retta before we went to Vegas to basically like prevent my because I knew that this was gonna like nerf my sex drive, and I wanted to like be very not waste any time with women. Right? We had a lot of important meetings. Didn't want to get sidetracked. Uh, but also what it did, it like decreased my like love of variance such that I just became like extremely boring and low T. And it wasn't until it like wore off like the last like week that I started
Yeah.
like variance maxing and just doing like a bunch of normal Lucas activities, right? And
Dude, I think the thing where like if you just if you feel no sexual attraction, it's like very bad for you in a bunch of like totally unrelated ways.
yeah,
Like it is just really bad for you on like a human being level, right?
this is now my stance is like okay, so all these GLPs, they definitely so it's like yeah, they nerf your hunger. They turn down your ability to feel hunger. However, what do we know about hunger, right? Like okay, so I just had this thing of coffee. You may have noted I just epically chugged the whole cup, by the way. I don't know if anyone was paying attention, but I did. So
Please
you do
clap.
that. Huh?
Please clap.
Yeah, please clap. So you have coffee, you get less hungry, right? Like you don't sleep enough, you get more hungry. You sleep too much, you get less hungry. You get excited in conversation, you get less. Like everything you do has an impact on how hungry you are, right? And so if you take a drug that impacts your hunger levels, do we really think that it doesn't go the other way? Like we really think that it doesn't impact all of the same things that impact hunger, right? And like the two most selected for things evolutionarily, the two most selected for drives are like hunger and sexuality. Because like if you don't eat, you die, and if you don't reproduce, you don't pass on your genes, right? Those are like the two most heavily selected for things in humanity. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you turn your hunger off, you're playing with a bunch of other fucking levers and we don't really know what they do. And like maybe it's good, right? Like there's a bunch of other studies saying that like if you take the GLPs, you are going to decrease your incidence of drug addiction, you're going to like alcohol less, all of this stuff. Maybe it's a net positive effect, but the idea that it's not going to like at a base level somewhat like re-engineer the human species, I think is totally wrong. Uh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just very obvious that like it does stuff on a deeper level than just like you're not so hungry now.
Yeah.
Like extremely, extremely. And to be
And
fair,
like it was
that is also
observably
like any drug ever, kind of,
yes.
right? Like anything that affects that is like actually doing anything meaningful is obviously going to be affecting you in other ways, right? Like this is
But I think hunger is
tautologically,
probably like the dirtiest. Like if you're hitting the hunger receptor, right? Like I think you're literally hitting like every receptor. I think it's the dirtiest fucking
yes,
thing.
it's just the life. I mean, that's why it's like the thing where you're not horny if you're on this stuff, right? Um,
That also could just be because I didn't have like carbs or other stuff, right?
you also
Like you
weren't
don't
sleeping,
synthesize
had no
testosterone if you don't
carbs,
have
like
enough carbs.
new. Yeah, and I think you're like very sociable, but I do think sometimes you like the autism comes out a little where you're like in a new situation and you're like trying to understand like the social dynamic and you like it's not that you can't act, it's that you're like in scout mode. You're in like what is the dynamic here? Like what is allowed? And you and I have probably been in like some of the most like broad range of like what is allowed situations, right? From like mega
Yeah.
lived out to like mega right wing, from mega, like rural to super urban, Asia, the US, Europe. Like we've just kind of been in very, very different situations with very different social conventions, right? Um, I do think everyone kind of just let us do whatever we wanted, though. Also.
Generally, yeah, like people kind of give us like the gesture pass on things, I feel like.
We get a little bit of deference. Yeah, it's pretty good. That is great.
I mean, it would be totally over for me if I didn't get that specific thing because I just like I no longer care to have conversations where it has to be like 100% controlled and like safe. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
if
just bad
I'm
to do that.
it's like I am too far along in my career to be doing this. Like I just don't care to.
Maybe the last thing that we should talk about with San Francisco is you were telling me about the Gini coefficient. I really like this phrase that you that you
Oh,
were telling me. Yeah.
just yeah, the
So
Gini
the
is
Gini
it pronounced
coefficient,
Genie?
just so everybody knows, the Gini coefficient is like a number that you arrive at a formula that's like how evenly distributed are things in society, right? So if one person has all the bananas, nobody else has any bananas, and the Gini coefficient is very, unequitable, so to speak. And vice versa, if the bananas are all evenly distributed, the Gini coefficient is very equitable, right?
And it is up if it is more
Yes.
unevenly distributed, right? Does
Yeah,
it
I think
stop
that's
at
the way it
one or does
works.
it go past that?
I think it stops at one unless if I guess with money you could have like debt. Um, yeah, zero is perfect inequality and one is like perfect inequality. I actually don't think it can go past one even if you have debt, but that would be really funny.
But the basic idea of all of this is that the Gini coefficient of everything is just going straight up right now.
Yes, everything
Like
is getting closer to one.
yes,
But okay, the
and
other thing I'll say is like other economist concept is there is like a logarithm here, right? Where like the 1,001st banana is like not doesn't really make like a big difference, right? And so the like trillionth dollar that Elon Musk gets is like not really that relevant, right? Um, but the point on the inequality stands all the same, right? But there is some like relativism to it, where if there's $1 in the economy and Elon Musk gets that $1, that makes the Gini coefficient jump up a lot. But if Elon Musk has like $1 trillion and he gets another dollar, that doesn't really make a difference at that point, right?
yeah, but anyway,
It's
I
going
think
up.
this is a
The number's going up a lot.
and it's like everything, right? It's like with cities too. Like the biggest cities are getting bigger, the smallest cities are disappearing. Like there's a lot of towns
There
in
also
like the
just used to be
Midwest.
like a cap on like power laws of everything, like how many women you could get, how much money you could get,
Yeah,
how healthy
the
you could
internet basically
be.
removed all power laws, like caps. There's no ceilings anymore.
Yes, yeah, it's like comic, like anime, like isekai scaling now, right? Where like the top guy is like 1 billion times, above everybody else. It's like the most jacked guy, dude. That
It
was just
literally
the
even happened
funniest.
in
I wish
anime.
we
Like
took a picture of that.
do you remember the level of like the most cartoonishly overpowered anime hero would still only beat the next villain by like 2%, right? But then they invented One Punch Man, who's a
Yeah,
guy
it's
that
not
just
like
like
that anymore.
He just
It's not
comically
like
like
that at all
explodes everyone that
anymore.
he fights in like one shot easily, right? And that's like what happens with everything. You have like the biggest cities now are slurping up everyone from like the Midwest and like all of these other flyover states. You have the most rich people are just getting infinitely richer. The guys who get the most girls, right? Like people used to be like, oh, the top 20% of men get. It's like now it's the top 7%. Next year it will be the top 6%. Like eventually, if you're not in the top 0.5% of men, you will not know the touch of a woman, right? Like it's just, we're all just consolidating all resources.
I think the other thing is like you used to not really be aware that like the other anime guy can like turbo nuke you at any point, right? But now it's like very in your like now the guy that has like 1,000 women, instead of like hiding them and being like, oh, I don't want anyone to find out I have 1,000 girl, or like
Yeah.
the trillionaire is like now like not only is he like, yeah, I'm a trillionaire, but he's like exaggerating his net worth now, right? Like this is the other really funny thing about the Elon Musk like $1 trillion posting is Elon Musk really is like very illiquid. Like I actually bet you that it's because he's a huge loser, but Bill Gates might be more liquid than Elon actually. Like if it was literally like come up with like dollar bills in a bank account, Bill Gates might be able to come up with like more dollar bills in a bank account than, or Warren Buffett definitely can come up with like more dollar bills.
If you sell 3% of SpaceX shares, you're going to eat up all of the buy side orders in the market, right? So the price is
Yeah.
going to go way down. And so now all of the rest of his whatever, like 42% of SpaceX shares are now all worth less. So like he has drastically decreased the amount of on paper net worth that he has. And
Yeah,
also,
it's
you cannot like use a share of SpaceX to buy a pizza, right? You need to sell it first. So
yes.
like this is what we mean. He doesn't
Well,
have liquid
actually, dude,
dollars.
apparently now you can like buy houses in San Francisco just straight up with like
They're doing a bunch
with
of weird stuff with like private tender
yeah.
offers. Yeah.
They're doing a bunch of crazy stuff. It's probably half of it is illegal, but they'll change the rules retrospectively. Dude, the other thing is it just gets funnier and funnier. The signal clip. Maybe now that we have an editor, we can like play clips in other episodes from other episodes and stuff. You know, the
There's
worst
so
thing that's ever happened on Earth.
crypto has the single biggest concentration of scammers and bad behavioral people.
I think that might be changing. I think it might be shifting towards AI now.
I think it's got to be in an AI now. I'll say
What
the
the
other
hell
thing
are
about
people
crypto
doing
and
in
the
AI that's
scammers.
grifting? Like others, I don't get it.
What?
Dude,
Brother,
we're not. That's
cousin,
not a serious
sir.
Okay, stop. But it's like the SpaceX S1, which the S1 is the document you have to file when you want to go public, which like explains the business. Literally is like data centers in space, bro. Like it's strategic that we've merged Twitter and you know XAI and
He
SpaceX.
basically tied every non-public asset that he had into one and rolled it into this giant so that he could make like the greatest S1
and
like
he's
white
yeah,
paper.
it's like the way he's going about it, he's being like, I have this house over here, and then I have this car, and then I have all this social clout. And like maybe the house is worth like $10 and the car is worth another 10 and the social cloud is worth 10. But like you actually have to multiply all of it together. You can't add it because like the house is made more valuable by the car existing. And then it's getting even goofier where he's doing like all stock transactions. It's like normal if you want to buy another company to add value to your company, you have to sell stock, get dollars to pay them in dollars. But no, he's doing like all stock transactions.
And he did it at the top. And okay, this is another crazy thing that he did. So it was what was it? Like a 4% float, meaning of the shares that exist, how many of them are actually like
Yeah.
trading, circulating in the market, and how many of them are like locked up, right? So only like 4% of the actual stock shares are in the market. And then he changed the index. So all of the ETFs that track the index, normally what they have to do is they have to buy a proportionate share. Like if you're an ETF that tracks the top 100 companies in the S&P, you have to proportionately buy shares from all of them. And if you want to be added to that ETF, normally there were like rules around you have to like trade at like a given price for like 4 quarters, 6 quarters, some amount of time.
Yeah.
Before they add you. Elon just broke that. So he was like, as soon as we get listed, all these ETFs have to buy, right? So he had like billions of dollars of guaranteed buys on his stock when he IPO'd, which at like a 4% float guarantees that you are going to go up. And then at the pico top of the SpaceX valuation, he starts doing all these all stock offers where he buys other companies with only stock at like the pico top of the valuation. It was just like one of the greatest like financially engineered moments in the history of the human race. Like there really is no one to do it better. And then everyone also from crypto just made billions of dollars off of this because everyone in crypto was like, wait, I know how the low float, like high FTV coins are going to trade, right? It's going to have an epic launch pump and then it's going straight down as soon as we get some froth after like 3 days. And everyone who predicted that just like printed because that is exactly what happened. I think we're trading back to like first day IPO price levels. Like we've retraced the full pump.
Yeah, it's gone up and down. It's the same thing it always does, and like people always, it's just like every single IPO is now. It's like the eternal September meme, where it's like what used to happen on the internet was like in September, people like kids would get access to computers for the first time, and then they'd like do a bunch of really stupid things and say a bunch of really stupid stuff on the internet. I was like, all right, we just have to let the new kids like figure it out. Every IPO is like this now. Every single IPO is like baby's first IPO. And just no one, it's like, yeah, it's 4% float. They're pumping it up. They have a bunch of buyers. The VC funds are like pumping it up. Everyone, dude, this was like a crazy pump though, I will say. This was like Godspeed to Elon. And I actually have a lot of respect for Elon as like a financial engineer now. I think this part of him was really underrated until this IPO. That like Elon just has the magic where he can like hold a car together that like should be falling apart, and then like the car makes it to the mechanic because he's like able to hold it together, right? And this is one of the core things that you want a founder to have, right? Like a founder and CEO. This is like part of the job is like it's a cult. Yeah, that's a feature. That is like objectively a good thing, right? That is part of
Elon
why
specifically also has the ability to, like now because he bought X, he has this weird thing where like he can just tweet out about any like problem that they have, and like a bunch of people will just give him money at terms that are extremely
yes.
disadvantageous to themselves.
Dude, X is like a newspaper business where like it's never going to justify the valuation, but it has like a ton of value add for a ton of like separate stuff, right? Like, or it's like owning, I guess sports teams do actually make a lot of money because of like normie cattle. But it's kind of like owning a sports team in that sense where like you get a bunch of like secret clout points, you know? It's still very weird how many secret clout points you get for like owning a sports team, given that like it's pretty commoditized at this point.
Do you? I'm
Yeah,
totally
you get a lot
unfamiliar
of
with
in
this
Normie Land. You
sphere
get
of the
so many
normieverse.
points, dude. So many points for owning a sports team,
I
and like they don't
watched-
even
I
have to do
watched-
well. That's the
Dude,
crazy
here's
thing.
here's the level of understanding of the normal people that I'm on. I now am starting to understand what normal people are going through with like this dating thing.
Dude,
it's a
normie people
little-
have it so bad with dating, like so bad. Just
Dude, it is also like it's so
unimaginable.
weird how everybody does this weird like drinks or and there's this like very programmatic dance, but like in actuality, the best first date is just taking her grocery shopping. Uh, it's just it's just a sort of like absurd thing to ask a girl. So like you only do it if you're like
I
a
think
bit of,
clothing
like,
shopping is actually a really good one.
Clothing shopping might be fine, but I think grocery shopping is like you get to.
I think
you get to
grocery shopping
learn
is
so much
better,
about them.
but it seems super weird. Farmers
Yes.
market is like as close as you can get to this, right? Maybe this explains the prevalence.
Yeah, like if
of,
there's a way
like-
to make it like an event of some sort.
Yeah, that's the
you
that's
can
the
do
whole
that.
farmers market thing, I guess. We just discovered farmers market from first principles. Yeah.
But you get to see so much about like their decision making process when you go around and just like, or just like decision making process, taste, how they spend money, like what they do in their free. Like you just learn everything, and now you have a bunch of food that you needed, and now it's like you can go anywhere. Like you can either just go home from this and say like, okay, I hate her, like I'm never gonna do this again, or you can say like, okay, do you want to go make dinner? And now you're back at your place. Like you have the full breadth of options laid out before you if you do this. Very, very good date. But I think actually 3 of my exes I met because I hit on them at grocery stores.
I think women, one of the places where women really want to get hit on is grocery stores, which is like super funny, right? Because that's like, dude, at the grocery store, I'm like speed running. I'm min maxing this thing. I'm like
Dude,
optimizing
I
the
genuinely,
quickest path.
this is like, no. I enjoy grocery shopping so much more than like grocery shopping for me is one of my prime social outings for the week, bro. Like I don't even get this shit delivered. Like I go up anytime I see someone who like they look like they got light in their eyes and I see them looking between two products, I am gonna talk to this person. Doesn't matter if they're like a beautiful woman or like a fat like balding man or like a 60-year-old like gonna talk to him. I'm gonna fucking talk to him. It is
Yeah.
just one of my joys in life. And you learn there's so many like random products or recipes that you learn about by talking to these people that you never would have otherwise found.
I think I really enjoy grocery shopping, but I do legitimately enjoy speeding through it. Like I enjoy being like, okay, I gotta grab this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. Um, I've also become. I wasn't like this, and I used to be like, Lucas, you're such a freak for doing this, but like I'm entirely shameless now. I'll be grocery shopping with someone, and I'll do like out loud podcast with them about the events that are going on around me. Like I'll be like,
Yep.
oh my god, look at that guy buying total goy slop. Like, oh my god, that's disgusting. He's gonna eat that, and like
Dude, I think
the
we
guy
I
is
think we hit
right
like
there.
we hit like an aggregate like total confidence level between you and me that when we were
Yeah.
walking around everywhere, we eventually just started like live stream like anthropology dictating. Like we were like the British guy who's doing like the planet Earth narration about everything that's going on. Uh and it just kept working out for us. Like nobody was bothered by it even if we were like egregiously insulting. They would just be like, "Yeah, wow, like that's some really interesting commentary you've got."
People just give us a lot of passes, like a lot of passes. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
I hope it's not one of those things where it's like we're gonna hit the wall and then it goes away.
Maybe everyone hates us secretly, and we haven't. Maybe.
Right? It's like they're not even giving us passes. They're just like
They're
too
just like,
beta
oh,
to
these
tell us to
fucking
shut up.
kids, dude. These fucking people, like, they're just beyond help. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's really bad. Maybe it's like we should be really embarrassed.
I don't know. They keep inviting us back to things, so they probably
They
like
do
us.
keep inviting us back to things, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, what's going on
It's
with your
like,
like fake background? It's like and nobody else can see this, but his shit's like it randomly is
There's like
like
a really weird fake background. We use StreamYards for these, and StreamYards has like the weirdest fake backgrounds. It's
well, it's
just
like why
the
are you
room is a
even why are
disaster.
you like why are you even using
Dude,
it
the
with
room
me?
is just a disaster, and like I know I just talked about being shameless, but I clearly like the Gini coefficient between me and normal people of shame is really high, but the Gini coefficient between you and I of shame is also still really fucking high, dude. Like you are still a lot more shameless than I am. Um,
I thought maybe I wasn't for the first part of the trip, and then at the end, it's like, yeah, we
no,
are.
you're a
Like,
lot more shameless than me. Still, you still got it, bro.
yeah.
It's a good thing, I think. It's definitely a good thing. But yeah, the Gini coefficient, everything is going to infinity. Like literally, the Gini coefficient of every single thing is going to infinity. Like health, fitness, dating, money, also enjoyment of life. Like there are people that are at the top, like 0.01% in like women, money, like everything, and just like really like not even like it's actually worse than like if they were suicidal. They're just like, I don't care. Like just straight up, I don't care. It's not even
This
like,
also
oh,
is
I hate life and I
increasingly
want to kill
why
myself.
like it used to be that you would talk to somebody and you would sort of have an ability to relate to basically anyone in the country as long as they were within like an age range of you, right? Whereas now it's like you can talk to somebody who's like exactly your same age in your same city, and like there's a very good chance that they will like their conception of the world, their life that they're living is so different from yours that like you get halfway into a conversation and you're like, we basically can't understand each other. Like we're both speaking English, but like when I talk about like going out to eat at a restaurant with someone, it's such a different thing than what happens to you that it's like we should just not even try to interact with each other, you know?
Yeah. No, but there's people who are like totally ambivalent. Just straight up like, I don't even want to end it. Like, I just don't care. And like, it's you know exactly who I'm thinking about. It's just like, and this person will know as well. Like, it's not even like they're not even ashamed of it anymore. There's just like, it's like this has become life. It's like when you get so depressed. Has this ever happened to you? You get so depressed that like just the concept of being like happy is like foreign to you. Like you're not even like aware. Like, yeah, I guess I remember what being happy was like. That was like a thing that happened in the past.
Well, and you can also go between these two. Like the other crazy thing is how fast you can go between the two states. Like I had somebody
Yes.
commenting on the way that like something I've been saying a lot lately is like everybody comments on like the pains of being a sensitive young man, right? But it only gets worse with age because now you go from being a sensitive young man to being a sensitive old man, which is like the least desired resource in the history of the world, right?
Sensitive.
So
Okay, sensitive young man was always like a humble brag. It's like, oh, I feel things. Like it's literally just sensitive young man is like was just the right wing. Like I'm an empath, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel things more than most. Like it was just always like the gayest thing ever. And like I did it too, man. Obviously, but
I don't think
it
I ever
was
did it,
super
man.
lame. I've
I don't
done
think
it, dude.
I don't think I ever did it because I think I suspected deep down that it actually might have been me. So I was like, you can't actually identify as the thing, right? It's like you know that everybody who self-identifies as a sociopath is not a sociopath because they're calling themselves a sociopath. Like an actual sociopath would be like, I'm an empath, bro. Like I'm not a sociopath at all. Uh,
This is the Plausibly Deniable experience, brought to you by Polymarket, where you can bet on anything.
Speaking of which, I wanted to talk to you actually about this specific Polymarket pool here. There's a Republican presidential nominee for 2028. The first two options are
Oh God, this is a big one. Hold on. Don't tell me. Don't tell me what. All right, I'm betting that Rubio is actually above JD Vance. I'm betting you that Rubio is at like 42 and Vance is at like 35. How close am I?
you're like just completely off. So JD Vance is ahead of
Okay.
Rubio. He is at 38, and Marco Rubio is at
Really?
21.
Did he come back a lot in the last week or so after he did all those appearances?
Yeah. So it looks like Vance is up maybe about 10% in the last week, and Rubio is down about 5%.
Okay, so that's closer to the numbers I was saying, right? I was just like pre JD Vance because he went and he did the View, he did New York Times, he did a bunch of stuff, and he was actually pretty good on this
So
stuff.
so
I
my
will
thought
say.
my thought with this pool is like I feel like you can actually just bet on like I could just buy JD Vance and Marco Rubio and then bet against Tucker Carlson who is at 5%. Uh and probably just print. Am I still like how do you feel about that one? Well, no, I mean I think if you buy both Vance and Rubio, you're pretty shoe in, right?
How much percent is remaining on the table if you buy both Vance and
Like
Rubio?
40. And like these other
Huh.
candidates, man, it's like
And then
okay,
what is the
Tucker Carlson is at 5%, Donald Trump Jr. is at 3%, Ron DeSantis 2%, Donald Trump is at 2%, which is like that's so funny. Like Donald Trump being like a third.
dude? I think Donald Trump is like cheap, and like Don Jr. is pretty expensive.
Glenn Youngkin, Vivek Ramaswamy, Ivanka, Thomas Massey, Rand Paul, Gabbard, Elon Musk, Kim Kardashian, Nikki Haley, Greg. Like, there's so many of these just like nonsense candidates.
Yeah, I think long JD and long Vance is probably a pretty good bet here, man. And maybe like you just like momentum trade JD based on like what happens on twitter.com. I also think what happens is like if the Iran thing goes better, like whatever's happening in the Middle East, if it goes
Yeah,
better, Rubio goes up, and if it goes worse, Vance goes up,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it's just like yeah.
But I think there's like basically 0% chance of Tucker Carlson getting this, right? Like, do you remember years ago we would all be like, "Oh, dude, Tucker Carlson may be the next presidential blah blah blah." Like he seems like
Do you remember when he was like the
yeah,
reasonable
he was like a
guy who like
normal
wore the silly bow
yeah.
ties?
And apparently he just had a publisher that was keeping him in line, and as soon as the publisher is gone, he instantly became
Dude,
insane.
my whole thing now is that like once you hit the age of 50, God just spins a coin and if it comes up heads, you lose it. Like you just go totally insane.
It is literally like
bro.
if you have a
that's
solo
just
if you
the
have
way
a
it
solo
works.
media outlet and you are over the age of 45,
Dude,
you
that's gotta be so
you are
insanity
playing with
inducing.
fire, my friend.
Dude, I feel pretty insane talking to you for 3-4 hours. Imagine just talking
To your own
yourself.
reflection in a camera, and then like a bunch of faceless
Holy shit.
Indonesian commenters respond, giving you feedback about American
Yeah.
politics. Like you're actually gonna fucking lose it, man. These also have pretty like you can size into these pools. Like this is the first time we've discussed a pool where you can actually like you could ship some big bucks into this one if you wanted to. I'm kind of debating it. It's better than the risk-free rate, but it's not necessarily better than the returns I'm getting on other shit. But it's better than stable yields. But I'm also kind of deploying now, bro. Like we're kind of at the point where I want to be pretty deployed.
Dude, it's just the thing where like it just feels like at any time it could go to zero, bro. Does it not feel like that all the time now?
Everything feels really bad to buy in like traditional markets right now. You know, like you just look at every single
It just
asset
feels like
and it's
everything.
all up like at least a 3x. And you're just like, huh. You're like looking for the next support level, and it's just like it's like so far down that you would instantly vaporize like 70% of your holdings.
Yeah.
Very bad. So would you bet against Carlson or would you just go JD and Marco?
I think the one thing it depends on is whether Vance and JD are like, we're gonna do an open primary, or they're like, all right, we decided and Trump picked me or Trump picked him, right? And like if the latter happens, you win. If the former happens, it could be really bad because they both have to defend the record of the admin. Whereas like some other guy could be like, screw the admin, like this admin sucks. Whether because it's going too far or it's not going far enough. And then Rubio or Vance like spoiler effect each other, right? I do think, dude, I think everyone underestimates like the Latino voting bloc, man. I feel like I can't remember if I talked about this on the podcast. Every Uber I got into in Miami who was Latino spontaneously like started talking to me about politics and basically endorsed like Imperial, Star Trooper, Star Wars, like fascism, as long as like the head
Dude,
of
but
state
you are
was
also
Marco
saying
Rubio.
like I went to like the Latina capital of the world, and then the Latinas are supporting Latinas, or I guess Latinos.
Yeah,
I guess.
obviously, but I do think it's like notable that they're willing to vote for like Darth Vader nationalism as long as like Darth Vader is Marco Rubio.
I feel like we're a bit late to the discourse by saying that like people vote for people of their own ethnicity, right?
No, but I just think Latinos have swung really hard against Democrats, by the way, also. Like super hard. Like that is coming to like Latinos are done. Like officially Democrats are now the party of
honestly,
like
a lot of
white rich women.
this is something we should talk about. At Manifest, we were meeting a lot of the guys who listen to our podcast, and these people straight up looked like DNC staffers. Like a lot of these people.
Yeah, a lot of like DNC staffer looking like Georgetown University graduates. Like a worrying amount of these. Maybe our whole following is like people who do operations for the Democrats, man.
Yeah. Well, but they're all like totally like they look like the Democrat, but then they're very much so like hardline right wing, and you're just like, it's very weird when you see someone who should be espousing like it's like they should have like the black square profile picture, and they should be telling you about like abolishing the prisons and stuff like that, and then instead they're saying like the most far line right wing thing you've heard in the last like 6 hours. You're like, huh, that's a bit I think you said it best with, if these guys are leaving the Democrats, like it is over for them, right? Like this is their fucking bread and butter. If these guys are leaving the DNC, who even is left to support them?
Dude, there's just a lot of like the people who are left are like Ezra Klein guys who are like, I'm just a technocrat wonk who wants really good policy. And then like the entire rest of their party is like, I don't want policy. I want the blood and humiliation of Elon Musk. And they're like, oh, well, I guess after that we can do good policy, right, guys? And they're like, no. And then Ezra Klein like just keeps voting blue no matter. It's just the blue no matter who meme, dude. It's like, yeah.
You know who else is on this 2028 Republican presidential nominee poll?
Who?
Erica Kirk.
That's not happening. I'll give you an outsider one. I'll give you a real outsider one. RFK Jr. Is RFK Jr. on there? RFK Jr. I feel like could be a crazy outsider pick. He somehow like he's not like a pretty boy, but girls really like him. Guys like him because he's fucking sick. Girls think he's very hot.
Dude, I feel like every person
because
I know
he-
thinks this guy is insane. I know so many people who think that RFK Jr. is single-handedly destroying America. Like, I don't know if I've ever heard any girl say anything positive about this guy ever in my life.
I think if they figure out a way to fix his voice, I would immediately put my entire life savings on RFK Jr. I'm gonna be honest, bro. It's just his voice is like giga fucked. It's not good.
You actually are telling me that girls
gonna have
are
to
like
bleep this
out here
out.
saying this guy is hot?
Yeah.
It's just,
Dude, you know he like openly cheated on his wife, and then like immediately after cheating on his wife, it's like they always find a photo of like your wife like being angry at you. They couldn't find a photo of his wife being angry at him. They found a photo of his wife like kissing his finger and like putting his hand around her neck at like a public charity, like a black tie charity event. And like immediately preceding this, the event that happened was like he had written this like news reporter girl, Olivia Nuzzi or whatever. He had written her a poem about having various forms of intercourse with her. Like
poem?
extremely out there intercourse. Yes.
dude, I might have
like,
to ship that one. That
notepad.
could be.
No, this is like the type of poem you would write. Okay,
That's
we're
what
gonna
I'm
have to put this
saying,
part-
dude. Like,
he wrote. Do you know what the poem
No.
was? He wrote a whole poem about like.
I'm not gonna
Literally. And then
confirm
his
whether I'm
wife-
not gonna confirm whether or not I would write the poem. But
And like a week after this, she's like at an event, like eating his hand, like making out with his hand, and wrapping his other hand around her neck. Like I'm not joking. That's like what his wife did, dude. It's like it's just like he's just total giga chat.
you're making a compelling case for him. Not because I would write the poem.
Yeah.
But there's just the aura of it all is compelling. You know, the holistic package.
I just think the problem is that like his family hates him super bad. Like super bad. Like the other Kennedys really fucking hate him. Like his sister detests him.
You know, the other story that I had forgotten to tell also is the the bit about how I cured my food poisoning or stomach flu or whatever the hell I had.
Yeah, you were just like downing a trillion Alka-Seltzers.
Well, no.
Did that work?
You never heard this. I actually went to the ER at some point, like 2 or 3 days after that last podcast we did at the place. But because the thing is, if you can't keep water in your body, you become very dehydrated, right? Like you just kind of, and like, it doesn't sound that serious, but this is like the number one leading cause of death in the third world is you just become so dehydrated that you die. And so I was just like, how the fuck do I like keep water in my veins without? So eventually I just went to the ER. I probably should have just gone to like some place that offered an IV because I knew they were just going to give me an IV. Like all I wanted from the ER was an IV. But I had a relative that was saying like, oh my God, like you have to go to the ER. And like, when you have like an older female relative telling you that you have to do the thing or else you're going to die, it's like, you have to just do the thing so you can tell her that you did the thing so that she doesn't like worry for multiple days about this thing. So I did it, even though it was like it would have just been like 100 times cheaper had I just gone and gotten an IV. Anyway, so they plugged the water into my veins and that all worked for a while, but then I leave and I start getting really dehydrated again. So I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to keep myself hydrated without IVing myself? Because like I'm not home. I don't have like a butterfly needle. I don't have an IV bag. I can't like set up a drip for myself. And apparently, if you have the right ratio of sodium and sugar in water, there's some like sodium glucose co-transport pathway in your stomach whereby you will absorb the water into your bloodstream, even if your intestines are all fuckered and they can't absorb the stuff. So I spent like, I don't know, some amount of time like mixing out the ratios and finding what worked. Eventually just like found Chat GPT answers to this stuff. And as soon as I started drinking these bottles of salt sugar water, uh there was a point where very clearly like my body just like slurped it up, and I had lost like 15 or 20 pounds from the dehydration, and I just kept drinking like 20 bottles of this water, and it just kept getting absorbed, and I kept like feeling myself get like heavier and more bloated from all of the water. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I felt so frail before. Now I'm like a water buffalo, dude. I'm so juiced up. And when I looked at it at the end, I basically just recreated the ratio of sugar and salt that's Gatorade. So uh I guess that's how they settled on it. But like,
It's just a thing of like drink Sprite, drink Gatorade, like just chug it.
I don't think Sprite. I
Yeah.
think Gatorade is the like you need the salt. There is some weird thing where it needs the salt or else it doesn't get absorbed as well. Well, I do think it's a thing where like if you try to address any concept in abstract, like the majority of people just don't think this way, right? So you have to find some pragmatic, concrete example of the subject. And then when you're doing that, you're like, well, I should just find an example that the majority
Yeah,
of
what is
people
the
relate to.
most universal experience where everyone will react to it exactly the same? And it's
Yes,
like,
and it's just
this is
dating.
just the
So you
one.
basically take every concept in abstract and it gets compressed down into a dating take. And that's why everything always resolves down to dating takes, is because anything that you want to exemplify as a psychological observation, you have to turn into this so that people understand what you're talking about.
Yep. I think also a lot of it is the fact that, like, it's just so universal, and it's like very clear if something is good or bad in that sense. Whereas like if you talk about your job and like you're talking to a non-technical friend and you're like, oh, we have like stand up in the morning, like maybe he just literally does not know what stand up is. Like he has never had the stand up thing happen. Yeah.
Yeah, the funniest example of this is when people from tech cities would post about how they got fired, but it's fine because they got severance pay, right? And then they just assumed that everyone else in the rest of the country knew what severance pay was.
Yeah.
And then when
Jesus.
you explain this to like a random Midwestern factory worker, their head just explodes. They're like, so you're telling me that you get paid $250K to sit at a remote computer, like by the poolside, and then
The
when
concept
you
of
get
garden leave
fired,
explodes people's minds. Like that one
yeah,
really explodes people's
yeah,
minds.
like, and then when you get fired, they continue paying you your same salary for 9 months, even if you get another job.
Okay, 9 months is
Like,
pretty crazy. No, I think in a lot of times it cuts off if you get another job.
it's
But like
usually
you
like
could just
3 months or
lie,
something,
right?
huh? Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
could probably just lie. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, they all. I mean, I think they stopped cutting it off because I think people just like lie so much that it. Yeah,
Yeah, honestly, it would be good. There's so many things where like you're just incentivized to be a piece of shit, and like be a lazy fucker, and like, yeah, it should just be like, yeah, you still get paid if you get a job. Obviously, what are we gonna do? Like disincentivize you from getting a job? It's like
so this is
that's the
another
way
thing that I
society
wanted to
works
touch
right
on
now.
is literally everything does incentivize you being a huge piece of shit right now across like basically every
Yes,
axis.
dude.
Uh
Dude, you could
and
fix so much of the world by just being like, do we want this or do we not want this? And then like,
yeah.
are we rewarding this or are we not rewarding this?
Well, so the example of this that I was thinking of, I was talking. This is awesome. I got such a good recording session in with Tracing Woodgrains, who is a gay, furry, ex-Mormon lawyer. So he came on, and I just wanted to ask him. We've talked a lot on the podcast about things like, okay, if somebody goes and they say like, buy Nvidia stock, it's going to $100 trillion. Like, buy now. Like, you will be poor, broke, cold, and alone unless you buy right now. And then they end it with not financial advice, by the way. Right. So, like this thing where you give explicit financial advice and then you say not financial advice. I was like, is this legitimate? Does this protect you in any meaningful way? Uh, and he was like, no, it's just sort of like tradition. Uh, it doesn't actually
I
like
think the way
he's
it works is like this is like another example of tort law is ruining the world. Run the clip. But like, this is a tort law thing where like someone once like was a massive crybaby about losing money. Like someone like offhandedly set a stock tip, and then some like retarded judge was like, oh, I feel really bad for this like really stupid person. like, they like lost money on this stock tip, and so then they awarded them damages or something. And then what happens is like now you have to figure out, okay, how do I do the thing that I obviously want to do? Like I obviously want to give a stock tip. Like I am trying to give a stock tip here, right? So it's like, how do I give a stock tip without giving a stock tip? And so it's like, well, what you have to do basically is you just have to say like, yeah, this is the, this is the thing. Like I'm just giving you a stock tip. So it's like, how close to that can you get while like having some semblance of covering your ass basically? And yeah, we've run the numbers, and like the closest you can get is basically just saying like, oh man, like oh, you should really take the stock tip. Like you can get really, really close. Like you can get super fucking close without
So
technically doing the
what he was
thing.
saying happens is people are like, okay, I want to post this. Let me run it by legal. And then legal is like, don't post this. It's completely retarded and it's a massive liability. And then they're like, well, I want to post it. And then the legal team is like, well, put this disclaimer, I guess, where you say like not financial advice. And then they're like, okay, man. And then they post it. So like, it's one of those things where in theory it might help someone in some very, very edge case. But the main way in which they make the determination on whether something is like legal, medical, financial, et cetera advice is, does this person seem to be some sort of like a professional authority on the matter? And if so, you can now be held accountable for doing these things. However, this goes back to what I was saying about how this is like just an incentive for it's always better to be a piece of shit now. And one of the ways in which you can not seem like authority is if you go, Your Honor, like if you would review all of my previous posts on my social media account, you would see that I am a huge lying scammer weasel, right? And then
Yes.
the judge goes, oh, yeah, like you're obviously a scammer. Anyone who trusts you is an idiot, right? Like, if
Dude, it's exactly like the medicine thing where like if you want to sell a pill and you want to like put it in the drug aisle, it's like you need to hop through 15 hoops while blind, while juggling like torches that are on fire and there's explosives under your feet. And then it's like you want to sell something and put it in the holistic aisle, right this way, sir. Like what claims do you want to put on the box, sir? Like
well,
we'll put
now
anything
that's
on
not
there.
even now that's not even true because like US I think is one of two countries that lets you advertise pharmaceutical products on just like it's like a Super Bowl ad, right? Like you're advertising and like this is one of those things that sounds reasonable to everyone in America because we've seen it happen for so long. But like just think about
You're not
this,
even
right? Like
allowed to like advertise most drugs in most other places. Yeah.
yes. Like why am I allowed to like advertise a pill for some niche condition where it's like in the advertisement, like I can say, "Oh, are you suffering from XYZ symptoms?" Like you're basically doing like a Wikipedia diagnosis of people, and then saying like,
You're
"If you have these
preemptively
symptoms,
WebMDing them.
pressure your
You're like
doctor
walking
into
up to
getting
random
this medicine."
people. Yeah, you're walking up to random people and you're like, have you ever felt like extremely generic negative trait? And it's like,
Have you
obviously,
ever felt
yes.
fatigued? Do you
Yeah, it's
sometimes get
like,
tired? That's a
yeah.
sign that you have a 19-foot parasite in your large
Holy
intestine.
shit, yes,
And my
dude.
medicine has been clinically proven to make you get rid of parasites in your large intestine.
And then
So,
you very quickly say everything negative, which like is just the oldest, like lamest joke ever. But like it is still super funny that's like a thing where you speed run saying all the negative things that your product has also been proven to have, right? Yeah.
well, and also
Super
they don't
fucking
like
silly.
okay. I think birth control and weed are both a really funny example of this where if you do either of them for long enough, it can just make you infertile. But nobody knows this, right? Like nobody who smokes
Weed
weed
can
knows
make
that
you
if you
infertile.
smoke weed,
I don't know if there's like a biological basis for weed to make you infertile, but there's certainly like a social basis
no, no,
by
no.
which
Like literally, like there are people who like they quit weed and for like years after they have just like super nerfed T counts, or sorry,
Yeah.
sperm counts. It like also nerfs your T. Like it's actually like a castration med. Presumably, it's bad for women. I haven't looked at those studies because I'm not a woman, and I've never particularly uh, dated like a woman who smoked for 30 years, I guess.
Jesus, dude. Yeah.
But it is it's also true with birth control where like, they took a lot of these 13-year-old girls and they were like, "Oh yeah, like birth control, that'll cure your acne." So now this girl has been on birth control for like a decade by the time she's like legally able to drink alcohol for the first time. And there's like a lag, right? Like you quit birth control, you don't instantly become fertile again. If you've been on the shit for decades and decades, it can take a while to bounce back. And so there's a lot of people I know who have been taking this stuff for like, I don't know, 25 years, like some fairly long period of time. And now they finally like they find someone, they want to get married and they stop and they're like talking to fertility counselors now because they've been unable to conceive for multiple years. And they're like, "Yeah, you just have to wait until it bounces back after the blah blah blah, or you have to take like a bunch of weird hormones to speed up the thing." It's very weird.
I think that stuff is just like, if it is very obvious, it should be very obvious to everyone what is healthy for you and what is unhealthy for you. And if you're just like stupid enough that you can't be trusted to like control yourself in the real world, I don't know what to tell you, man. You just can't be trusted in the real world. It is what it is, dude.
Dude, I think it's just like they just gave everyone like a doctor says take these pills forever. The average person just says I'm going to take these pills forever, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think we can blame normal people on this at this point because just like study what normal people do. Like the system has to protect normal people.
I don't know, man. Dude, the normal people just like more and more do appear to deserve it in like all sorts of like goofy and very silly ways.
I don't know. We might be disagreeing here.
I just think they deserve
I'm
it.
taking like the paternalistic stance on this, dude. I don't think we can condemn like 80%
No.
of
I
the
do
country.
think the paternalistic stance is correct. But like, here's the problem, okay? Everyone says they want to be healthy, but like, then no one wants like a government that's like, yeah, no, you can't eat you can't like literally just like fry weed and like eat this on TikTok while scrolling reels. And it's like, no, I really want to eat the deep fried weed, and like if you don't let me eat deep fried weed, I'm going to kill you. Like I will vote for communism if you don't let me like eat state subsidized like weed. And it's like, all right, man, like you just
Yeah, I do feel like I'm failing a little bit as a libertarian, but I do crash out a little bit when
I
you
think
see a
you grow out
discussion.
of being a libertarian, man. It's just like
I
it's
still
just
like
the thing.
identifying as a libertarian because I think it's just really funny.
I think it's the meme is just like libertarianism if you can pass a 130 IQ test. Like it would be, would it not be super epic if there was literally just like a test, and like depending how well you score on the test, it's like this drug is now available to you. Like you just unlock new tiers of drugs.
That's 100% how driving should be, how drunk driving should be.
Yes. Well, that's also kind of how a lot of the world used to be. We've talked about this on another episode. Roll the clip. But it's just the thing where, like, it used to be that you could get away with a lot of things because, but the problem is, like, as this scales, someone's like, oh, you let Timmy drink at like 19 years old, and it's like Timmy had like one beer with his parents at like a barbecue with a family, and it's like, dude, yeah, of course, Timmy, it's okay for him to drink in that scenario. Like, that's just not a very bad scenario for Timmy to be drinking in, right? But these people are like totally incapable of any kind of rational response in any way, like just being normal at all.
Well, here's my calculated argument for this all is like IQ is very highly correlated to reaction time. Driving ability in conflict is very correlated to reaction time. If you're smarter, you can handle more of a nerfing to your reaction time via alcohol than an idiot, right? Like, I actually think that like a totally hammered genius is still going to be a better driver than someone who's basically mentally retarded at base, and they should be allowed to have like an egregious amount of alcohol flowing through their system, without actually getting the ticket. Like it should literally be like there's an SAT score or something, and if you score high enough, you bracket into higher levels of blood alcohol concentration.
Yeah, agree. 100% agree, man.
This
I
probably
feel like the
applies to
subway
tons
takes
of other
guy.
things too.
The subway
Like
takes guy is
imagine
just
like
100% agree, bro. If your high IQ is high enough, like you have to get wasted before you get in a car. Actually,
no, you don't have to get wasted, but like definitely you can. I also have started attempting to appreciate the normal person's desire for like casual alcohol consumption. Uh
you're coming around.
no, dude, I just think you're all wrong. Like I think it is one of those things where y'all just like looking at the drinks that everyone else is holding and saying like, "Oh, thank God, we're all like plausibly deniably offsetting some stupid shit that we do to the
Yeah,
alcohol."
it's just the plausible deniable switch, man. I think someone could make a lot of money. Didn't they make some version of like an alcohol that's like less bad for you but does the same thing?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure it exists.
We should start selling this. How do we get a
This is something that I
sponsorship?
actually would show. But I feel like it is good for society that alcohol has such like a fucked up mediating system where like if you get mega hammered, then you get a mega hangover because otherwise everyone just gets mega hammered all the time, right? Like look at what happened with weed. Weed doesn't really have like this sort of like egregious hangover thing. So we concentrated it to these 100% waxes and like people are now just intaking such egregious amounts of it that they become like paralyzed and they're just like in a stupor.
Yeah.
Like weed went from being like a very unserious drug to now like you watch somebody do one of these weird like weed crystalline whatever things and you look at them after and you're like they're just like sitting there like kind of tweaking. You're like that's fucking weird. Like you're actually kind of like a drug person, right? Like this is abnormal behavior.
Do we have any other stories from tracing? Dude, tracing Woodgrains was like one of those people where it is just the meme of like there's only like 10,000 people that matter. Because I've been running into tracing Woodgrains on the internet for like 7 or 8 years at this point. It's also funny. I don't think he would take offense to this, but like he has gotten incredibly more degenerate over that time. Like he started off being like a lawyer who is like kind of, reading some like weird blogs, and now he's just like an openly gay furry who I don't even know what he does for work anymore.
He's a
Um,
lawyer.
is he still a lawyer now? That's epic.
Well, I think he just got his law degree, but he has not yet passed the bar. So when we were recording, I kept doing this thing where I would give legal advice and then like look directly at him as if like he's
That's good.
endorsing it. But the problem also, so as I said, he is not just an ex-Mormon and a gay lawyer, but he's also a furry. And
No,
in
he's like
this
an
recording,
unabashed furry. Like
and like when I
totally,
say
and like some people
unabashed,
will
it's like
think we're joking. Like he is just a furry. Like he's a
so he was
super
wearing
furry.
the fursuit ears in the recording actually. Uh and he was also wearing a suit. So he's wearing a suit, and it wasn't like like cat ears. I feel like are kind of fine. Like cat ears now at this point in society, like we were at Lighthaven for Manifest, so like at that point, like cat ears are normal. That's normal table stakes is wearing cat ears. But when you're wearing some animal ear beyond cat ears, like it was some like weird like fox, like they were long and like floppy, like that shit is actually kind of fucked up, right? Like now you're like a legit furry. You don't have like this isn't some like if you asked a girl to wear these ears, she would go from being like kind of into it to being like that's too much for me, man. Like I didn't know like if you wanted to fuck me as like a cat, that's one thing. I didn't know you wanted to fuck like a flappa or like an elephant or something. Like that's a little bit weird. Uh, and this is another thing. When I asked him about it, he was like, "Well, I like wearing these in interviews because another thing with getting perceived as an authority is if you're wearing gay fursuit ears in your interview, then no lawyer or judge is going to look at this and say that this is a serious professional giving serious legal advice in capacity as a lawyer, right?" And I was like, that's actually kind of real, dude. Like that's a good one. It was the same thing with I met Eliezer. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Eliezer Yudkowsky,
Oh, you
and
met
he did that
Yadowski?
interview.
That's super
He did
fun.
this interview with this super hostile guy, and he wore these like really goofy like New Year's goggles that had like all these sparkles and like the springs and the weird stuff bobbing around up here. And I asked him about that, and he was like, "Well, that's another tactic that I do. If I go into an interview with someone who I perceive to be hostile, then I wear these so that when you take clips out of context, nobody really like, they're not like, oh, this is him speaking seriously." And I was like, "Well, so does that mean that if someone treats you well enough, you will take off the meme prop glasses?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's a sign that if I like and respect you, I'll take off the meme prop glasses."
Dude, oh my God. I'm just thinking about the guy who wanted to like debate Yadowski, and he was like, "Oh, can I come on the pod, bro?" And I was like, "Yeah, do you mind if I like call you for 5 minutes? Like, I just want to like, ask what you want to talk about." And like, it's a screening call. It's to tell if you're not like stupid or retarded, and like you can be funny, and like if we vibe well, right? And maybe you're
just
great.
to tell if you can talk on, because there's many people who are great at writing, but that doesn't usually people actually become good at writing
Dude,
because they suck at speaking.
Podcasting is exactly like football, where like your uncle will just sit on the couch like a fat ass and be like, "I could have thrown the ball better than that." It's like, no, you couldn't have. But the thing is, it's talking, and so people don't think that this is like it's well understood that you are not as good as Tom Brady, and like there is a guy on the internet where if you go, "Oh, I could have done this better than Tom Brady," like he will just make it his life's mission to be like, "Tom Brady could fuck my wife better than me, man." Back at it again with the analogies, but like there is a guy on the internet that is like,
dude, like no matter what analogy, like
now I'm just doing it. Now
like
I'm
it didn't
kinda
even
just
make
doing it on
sense.
purpose.
Like it didn't even help me understand the situation better. He just makes
Now I'm
every
just
single
doing it,
analogy
man.
into a cuckold joke.
Now it's just every single one is like that. But it's just like there's a guy on the internet where if you go like, "Oh, I could shoot that as good as Tom Brady," like we'll immediately like breathlessly run into the room and be like, "You don't even deserve to breathe the same air as Tom Brady. Like I would kill myself for Tom Brady. Tom Brady is like God to me." But there's no one like that for talking, dude. I'm gonna be the guy like that for talking. Like when someone's like, "Oh, I should launch a podcast," I'm like, "You don't get it, bro. Joe Rogan is like a generational like talking talent. This guy's the goat of talking. He's a million times better at talking than you." And like he is. He's getting paid millions of dollars per talking word. Like this guy is objectively a million times better at talking than anyone. Is there anything else from the? We can finally close off the SF saga. We're
No,
done.
yeah, no. Well, I mean, we can close off the SF saga, but I do think that we also like. I think the game theory of all social interactions now has become so completely solved that there are just like anytime someone says anything, you can just immediately pinpoint why they're saying it, right? Like I realized also there's a couple new types of flexes that I have classified. One is disgust response flexing. There's a way that you can flex to women that you have a low disgust response that just like instantly turns on like 90% of them, right? And so whenever a guy does this, like you can also just respond saying like appeal to flexing disgust response publicly. Like it's like you're doing this for the girls. And the other one like that is flexing your appetite is one that I realized. I was going and I just camped out at one of the airport lounges when I got trapped in. Dude, I got so fucked up trying to come back from. I have to tell this story and what happened.
You were
to me in
like
the
the
airport. It was so
Crimes
ridiculous.
George of like extracting money from airplanes. Lucas is like the reason. You are like single-handedly the reason.
Yeah, like they raised the price of the Amex lounges to like $1,000 or something, and I'm like, I still get this if I visit 2 airport lounges a year. Like I eat like $500 of food every single time I go. But I literally sat there for 3 hours and I just purely ate salmon and broccoli, like those two things nonstop for 3 hours while I was on a phone call. And when I was like, I don't know, I was like an hour away from my flight, the girl next to me gets up and gives me a napkin that said like I am so impressed by how much food you just bodied, which is like also insane because I've never like a girl using the word bodied was nuts. I posted a picture of the napkin and everybody was like they were like, dude, like I cannot fucking believe that women are saying this, but like that is a woman's handwriting. And then there was some guy who said like that's a guy's handwriting, and then all of these girls responded saying no, that looks exactly like my handwriting, and it was just like amazing, man. Like Anyway, so women love when you eat a fuck ton of food. I think also though they love if you eat a fuck ton of food and you're not fat. I think if I was just like an enormous fat guy eating food, they would have just been like horrified.
I
So
think part of what girls really love is like it's just a thing where they want to feel small, right? And so you eat a bunch of food. Like I've been informed now. Apparently, it's like really really bad, and I feel like I've done this a bunch of times over my life. So I guess this is really bad of me. But apparently, it is really really bad to like invite a girl and like she orders a dessert and you just don't order dessert. Like apparently, that's really bad. Like
yeah,
extremely bad. Like you're basically calling her a whale. I just hadn't realized at all. Were you aware of
that's
this
kind of
one?
funny. That's a super obvious one. I noticed all of I think I was around enough girls who had eating disorders for like the early part of my life because of like the lifter girl thing that you just kind of like get explicitly told all of these things very very quickly. But
Hmm.
speaking of normal human stuff, that didn't happen to me at the SFO airport. I think this was actually the worst. The only time I've had a bad experience at the SFO airport. I knew this was going to happen also, unfortunately. Like I came in, I had a checked bag. This is always like never check a bag. If you ever have the option to just travel with like a backpack and a carry-on, 100% do that. Checked baggage is just like how everything gets fucked up, man. The first thing is that like in order to get on a plane, like you have to come early with a checked bag because you have to actually check it and they cut off the checking process like 45 minutes before the flight. If you just roll up with like a carry-on, you can literally get there 2 minutes before the flight takes off and they will still somehow get you on the plane. But I have to check this bag. And even though I was on time, the guy who was checking me in like misread the flight number. And so he said, "Oh, your flight's already taken off." And I was like, I just trusted him because I knew that I was running late. I was kind of distracted from stuff I was doing beforehand. And I expected that I was going to be a little bit late. So it's like, they finally got me. I'm finally late. And so this guy was totally wrong, apparently, but he rebooked me on the next flight, which like I think it was like 3:30, and the next one he rebooked me on was at like 11:30 at night. And this was on a different airline. So I went from Delta to United, and I had to walk 2 terminals down to do that. So I walked 2 terminals down to check into that flight. And then the girl is like, "Yeah, so like we don't have any tickets for you. There's no itinerary. None of this shit showed up." And I'm like, "Can you like call the dude and figure it out?" And they're like, "No, not really. You have to go back and talk to him. I'm sorry." So that, and then I go back to the Delta desk, and then he does something, and then I go back, and she's like, still doesn't work. And I went back and forth like 5 times before I realized that like the first guy who was doing this was just an idiot, didn't know how to use the computer at all. And so I just asked like, "Hey, can I like talk to one of the other desk people about this?" And he was like really insistent on being like the guy that handled my issue. He's like, "Dude, I've been working with you all day, man. Like, you're my boy. Like, I'm gonna get this handled for you." And I'm just like, like, I'm gonna talk to the other guy, man. I'm sorry. And then I talked to the other guy, and he's like, "Yeah, so this guy hasn't been issuing you any tickets. He's just been putting you in like an itinerary queue or something." And I'm like, "What does that mean?" And then he's like, "He's not doing anything." So he finally does it. I go back to the United desk, and they're like, "Wow, it's amazing. He got so much better. He actually issued you all." And I'm like, "It was a different guy." And they're like,
That's
"Oh my
so funny, dude.
So that literally took like 3 hours of just walking back and forth, and I think I got in like multiple, like we filled multiple rings of our Apple phone tracking thing, right? Like I think I literally walked like 15 miles.
It's so funny you're doing the meme like Apple, like the girly, like gotta fill my rings today.
No,
Like
like I filled out my, but like I did, dude. The rings were obliterated. They were absolutely annihilated by what went on there. And so then I go down, and like they only let you into the lounge, I think, like 3 hours before your flight takes off. So I was
no.
like, "Dude, I'm gonna have to wait for so long."
That
But I actually
rule
didn't
was
have to.
made specifically for Lego Lucas, by the way. Like
Yeah,
normally you go like, "Come on, man, I only use the lounge like once a year. Like, are you really?" And but it's like in Lucas's case, it's like entirely justified that they're like creating these weird rules for you. uh,
well,
yeah,
not just for me. I'm sure there's like actually
dude,
like
you are
if we
probably
had to
up
make
there. Like,
yeah, I
I
was gonna say
actually
if we had
think
to make
you're like pretty unique.
if we had to make like a percentile, the only thing that I could have done that would have like been more scamming is like if I had also gotten really drunk beforehand. I think what
Well,
we
I mean,
should
do you
talk
want
about
to or
also
not?
is like we've had a lot of situations recently where it's like us explaining modern cultural like the way in which everything has just exploded to boomers. And it's like one of the most perplexing things. You know, I was talking about how like it's possible to live such a different life that when you're talking to someone, communication actually becomes impossible. And this is totally what happens when you're dealing with boomers, right? Like you explain the concept of like escorting to them and how popular it is in like various big cities now, or anything along this lines, and they just don't believe you at all. You can show them like the Forbes article, and they're like, "Isn't that stuff illegal? Like, isn't it illegal to like sell set?" And it's like nobody knows, man. Like nobody knows how any of this is working or how this is happening.
It's all gotten pretty bad, man. I think also the escorting would be really hard because I think I think hiring an escort is just pretty cringe, for better or worse. But I do think with how dating is nowadays, it like probably makes
You can
like
make an argument
more,
that hiring an
it's a
escort
lot
is
more
less cringe
forgivable.
than dating. Like there's certain ways that you can date someone.
Yeah, I didn't want to quite say
Yeah.
it, but
Like there's certain ways you can have a
you could make
relationship
that
that are much
argument.
more embarrassing than just hiring.
Yes. Like there are certain relationships that people seem to think are okay and normal, and these are just objectively much more embarrassing than hiring an escort, right?
Yes.
Like far, far more embarrassing than hiring an escort. So that's,
I think
that's
also
something
men
to be
and
said
women
for
are now
escorting.
basically coming to the conclusion that like having a girlfriend or a boyfriend is often embarrassing, right? Like I think
I think that's one of those things where it's like, yeah, man, if what you mean by girlfriend and boyfriend is like this inherently embarrassing situation that you have like
it's like a thing where you see the
fucked
person
yourself
like
into
yeah, like you see them
backwards.
once a week and then they post videos of them at the club with like other people and you have to like try and explain to all your friends like why you're not actually like getting cucked or something like that. Like I think that's probably
Oh, I see. Now you're doing the
no,
analogy.
this isn't an analogy. This is like a direct like this is the thing, right? Like
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty bad. I think the whole like, oh, having a boyfriend or girlfriend is so being someone's girlfriend is so embarrassing. It's like,
you're also
okay, man, like you're just
self-doxing. Yeah, you're
admitting.
doxing that you're
Yeah, you're just like self-doxing that every single relationship you've been in has been
but
like total
but
transactional
there is
hell
also like
where you're
a
getting led
horseshoe here,
on.
right? Where if enough people are all saying that being in a relationship is embarrassing, you can kind of derive that the average relationship, like they're both mistreating each other to such a degree
Yes.
that like it's right. So it's like it's self-doxing, but enough people are self-doxing that you can infer that like in general, it does appear that the average normal person is humiliating themselves in this situation. Like
Yeah. No, and I buy that 100%. I do think the average normal person is like being extremely humiliated, basically.
and like clearly there's a way to have a
I
relationship
think
that
it's pretty
doesn't
brutal.
humiliate both of you, but I think it's like
There was. We don't know how anymore.
well like yeah, I mean you always talk about how the average guy, if he tries to attempt to control his girlfriend to any degree or say like you're not allowed to hang out with your ex one-on-one tonight in like in the bathroom with cocaine,
Just
right?
tonight, man. Like only tonight. Please
And to
don't
be like,
do
oh,
it.
like
Just
you're so
tonight,
insecure.
though.
Like, why are you controlling me so much, or something like that, right? Uh, and so
It's just beyond insane, dude. It's just like totally loony. It's like, yes, a relationship is like uniquely embarrassing because a lot of people have relationships that are basically situationships where like they are both doing the exact bare minimum to stay together and neither of them really want to push this relationship
yeah, like the
forward.
goal of the
And
relationship
it's
is so that
like,
both parties can tell themselves that they're in a relationship and they have a partner and are not a loser. That's the
yes.
only goal, actually.
It's like a lavender marriage, but for straight
Yes.
people. It's like, oh, I've checked off the box has a girlfriend. This was like socially important for me to check
Yeah, like
off,
I'm a loser if I don't
right?
have this thing, but I do have it, so I'm not a loser.
I also think a lot of this stuff is just like people who have like been like, okay, I need to check off this box. I need a job. I need a house. I need a group of
Dude,
friends.
I did this
I
so
need a
epically at like
girlfriend.
age 24. Like I was like Mr. like, oh, like I've got to be a serious
You were the check boxer.
I've got to be a serious
You were doing
adult,
the
bro.
check
I've got to be a
boxes.
serious big grown-up man. And then I just got like all of and I'm like, I've done it. Why do I feel completely unfulfilled? And then some guy was like, dude, like you're an idiot, man. Like you did the checklisting meme. You did the thing that girls do about guys that they're trying to date and then they feel unset, but you did it with your entire life. I was like, oh no.
Dude, it's not great, dude. It is kind of the thing that girls do where they're like, well, he needs a job. And then they go like, well, he also needs like this other quality. He needs this. And it's like, did you ever consider like that you have to be attracted to him too? It's like, well, I don't know. I was looking through and like I was really focused on the job.
Yeah, I was focused on the
part, you know?
job, car, like income, like good family, like never considered step
Dude,
one.
I think nowadays a lot of it is like focusing on some checklist that like a BuzzFeed writer that was like laid off 10 years ago wrote. Like, does he satisfy a feminist listicle, like, you know, one of those articles that are just like pure SEO slop, like 10 things that prove he's boyfriend material, and it's like number
And
one,
they all have like 0.9.
encourages you to go see
They
your
all have
ex.
0.9
Like,
correlation to either like encouraging you to start on OnlyFans or being 6'5". Like it's like the study.
yeah, they're all like 6'5", and then like a lot of them are frankly like a lot of what's happening is that like a lot of women are selecting for guys who just don't care about them.
Yeah.
Because it's a deal breaker for me if you won't let me go
deal
out
breaker.
with all my nurse friends who are like massive whores every single night. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, man, like any guy who says yes to that is either cheating on you or like fundamentally doesn't care about you. Like there's just like three or four things that
there's
this
a type
guy
of guy
has.
also where he'll just say like yes, do anything, queen, like because he thinks that if he stops repeating that phrase, then he loses access to sex, right? So now you're selecting for a guy who lies to you to get sex.
Well, he probably does. Yeah, you're selecting for a guy who's like bottom scraping the barrel.
No.
Like, just
Let's be
desperate for
very
sex.
honest and like clear about what this is. This is lying to have sex, right? Like if she says, "Do you care if I do X?" and he says, "Oh no, queen, I don't care," because he thinks he won't get sex if he does that. Like he's lying to have sex, right? Like that is.
Well, I think a lot of it is like the guy is often like also lying to himself.
Yeah.
Because he's like coping.
Like he thinks that he doesn't care.
And like he usually doesn't think that he doesn't care, but he's like, it's better than not having a girlfriend. It's like, is it, man? It's like, is it really? Like, you really thought about this, dude? Like, I'm not sure it is actually better than not having a girlfriend. I think a lot of people, like, you know, it's pretty bad. There's a lot of people that are single, but like maybe more people need to be single. Like maybe it's one of those like it gets worse before it gets better type
So
things.
did you see that really funny study that was done recently on GLPs where they gave a bunch of
Yes.
people, they gave men and women, single and coupled people, these GLPs for a year and a half.
Coupled people sounds like
Dude, I already said single and like in.
Dude, wouldn't that be so epic?
Okay.
You like in the same vein of like a relationship is embarrassing. You create like relationship persons. It's like people who like are pretending to themselves they're in a relationship.
They've been like downvoted, yeah. It's like when homeless becomes too shitty of a term. When relationship becomes too stigmatized of a term, you have to call them like relationed persons.
Well, there was like relationships, but like, dude, it's just again, all of this is
dude,
just
Mark
like
cooked so hard when he said relationships. That was like one of the funniest.
it is super fucking funny, But I will say, like, it does make me seem that Mart is one of these people who literally, like, can no longer even imagine a relationship that, like, doesn't make him want to.
Okay, well, now that you've completely derailed my intro of this study, basically they gave a bunch of people, men and women who were and weren't in relationships, GLPs, which are weight loss drugs, for 1.5 years, right? And funny trends included the girls who were on these things. By the end of it, about half of the women who were single were now living with a guy. Also, all of the ones who were unemployed.
I love that they said, like, cohabitating. Like, the study is also playing into the, like, relationships are, like, fundamentally embarrassing thing where they were, like, cohabitating or married. They were like, this is a serious enough relationship. They're living together. This isn't like the thing where they live near each other and, like, play phone tag, 3 times a week and then hang out like once a week. This is like a
I bet there
serious
was
rule.
some reason why they chose cohabitation over being in a relationship. Like, I bet there's some weird selection bias, like self-survey thing, where people somehow lie about being or not being in a relationship. It's like the meme of, like,
I
you
could see it.
ask you have like 1,000 men and 1,000 women in a city, and you ask all of them, like, are you in a relationship with someone? And like 50% of the women say
and
yes,
it's like
and 10%
numbers don't seem to make
of the guys
sense
say
here.
yes. And you're like, well, like,
Yeah,
some of you are
it's like,
wrong, clearly.
Some of you are wrong. Like, yeah, man, like, pretty interesting numbers.
Like, I don't think
Yeah.
these are adding up, right? There's another
Have you guys checked with each other? Have you asked if you're in a relationship?
I really
Like,
do like the number of people.
Yeah.
I'm realizing it's very rare for people to have confirmed that they're in a relationship now, right? Like, people don't appear to have this
It is
talk.
becoming a thing where, like, no one ever goes, like, do you want to be okay? I do think this is like a humiliation ritual, like saying, like, do you want to be my girlfriend?
You're
I
just
do
supposed
think
to
that's
say,
kind of a
like, you're
humiliation
obviously my
ritual.
girlfriend at some point, right?
Yeah, I think
Like,
at some point you just hit her with the, like, you're my girlfriend. Like, I'm not asking. I'm
you
just
can't
letting
you can't
you
ask.
know.
It's like, may I kiss you? Like, it's just so cucked, man.
Yes,
Like,
it is super may I kiss you coded. Can I kiss you now? Please sign
so you
this
just have to
consent
assert it.
form.
But the thing is that girls will hear this and then girls will do it. And I do actually think this leads to more relationships forming than guys, now that I'm thinking about this. Because, like, there's a lot of guys who, if a girl says, like, you're my boyfriend now, or she just starts referring to you as her boyfriend.
They're in the relationship now.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're like, okay.
This works. You can actually kidnap, like, to our female listeners, you can just, like, tell, like, a surprising amount of,
Dude,
like,
this has happened to me, like,
well-adjusted
twice in the
guys.
last 5 years. Like,
Yeah, dude. Dude, this has been all of my serious relationships. If, like, there was, like, definitely some attention, but, like, okay, the thing I've always had is, like, the girl has always gone on, like, some crazy stalking quest where, like, she basically, like, hard forced this situation Bene Gesserit style, like stalked me for the past 5 years, and it's like it's all paid off now. That's kind of the way my relationships always work.
the only problem that I will say is, like, without there being, like, any actual mutual consent conversation over this, it is like guys will often be like, if you get kidnapped into the relationship, they often will just be like, well, I can just exit it also without any discussion. Like, they'll be like, well, we broke up now. And she's like, what do you mean we broke up? And it's like, well, in the same way that you didn't ask me if we were dating, I didn't ask you when we broke.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, like,
true,
I'm not gonna dox anyone we know who's done this, but, like, I think we all know, like, some people who have.
I'm actually lost on this one, man. We're gonna have to reconvene on this one after. No, all of my relationships have ended with me being like, are you really feeling this still? And then it's like, yeah, I am, and I'm like, I feel like all of, like, I just feel like no. And then it's like, why don't we just call it for a bit? And then they're like, no.
Dude, that's
And
like how
then
our
I'm like,
podcast sound. Are you
I think it's
serious?
just
Are you
over.
still feeling this, bro? Do you still, or do you want to, like, do you want to keep going, or should we take a break? Right? Like that's, you break up with your girl.
Yeah, but the difference is with girls.
Okay,
With girls, it's like one of those.
podcasting is
it's
just
like the
marriage
reverse
theory.
preference
Continues
test.
to be the most accurate model of every social dynamic.
Dude. It is just like the problem is whenever you're like, do we really want to keep doing this? It's like always pretty clear that means you don't really want to keep doing
Right.
this.
So now they always just
And
say no because they don't want to like humiliate. Like it's a humiliation ritual for them if they have to be like, yeah, because they know that you don't want to. So like you're giving them the easy out, right? You're saying like, I kind of don't. You're basically saying like, I will let you break up with me now. While like it's the humiliation will not be on. You didn't get dumped, right? We're willingly leaving this together, right? You will only have to be humiliated if you fight for this. If you fight for this, I will go around telling people that you got dumped.
Like a really great obsession example was this Obsession movie.
Can you
where it's
explain that
like
to me, by the way? I've seen
like
all of this discourse about it. Give me the TLDR.
Yeah. So one of the modern concepts that I also think is really funny is like you will just osmosis things like by scrolling.
Here, I'll give you.
Right? Like I have osmosis.
I haven't watched it. I'll give you my understanding of this movie so far.
Yeah, let's
my
hear what
understanding
Lucas
is this movie
thinks
where there's
Obsession
some guy who got like some sort of like a magic lamp or some shit where he was able to like wish a girl into like loving him, but it happened in some fucked up like monkey's paw way where she became an obsessed BPD bitch and was just like super weird to him, right? And all of the girls are saying like, so I guess like every guy came out of the theater being like, I'm never dating again. This is awful. And every girl is like, why?
So the thing is, every girl came out of the theater also saying that, which is super funny. It's like everyone just walks in and walks out with whatever belief they already had, like pushed up. I think the other thing that's really funny is, so you basically have the plot, right? Like this guy clearly has a crush on, there's like a group of friends, right? And there's like the Nikki girl, the bear guy, another girl, and then another random guy. And Nikki is like hooking up on and off with the other guy who's not Bear. Bear is hooking up on and off with the other girl who's not Nikki. And Nikki and Bear appear to have been friends for a while. And then he gets like some kind of magic wand or something where like he can snap it. And if he snaps it, he gets a wish, and he kind of doesn't even think it's real. But he kind of like half knows it's real, but he keeps like ignoring it as it progresses. She becomes like more and more psychopathically into him, right? Like one day he wakes up and like the door is duct taped because it's like, don't go to work. This is actually a really common one. Women really hate when you go to work. Like they really want you to have a job, but if they're actually into you, they actually don't want you to go to work at all.
Yeah, it is
I
the
think
thing
the
also
thing
where
for
it's like,
me-
even with like a very responsible woman, she'll like try and trap you in bed with her until like 2 p.m. in the evening.
Yes.
And you're like,
because there's like I actually totally understand it. It's like a trophy. It's like, how late is he willing to be for me? Is like, how much does he love me? And there's like clearly a secret, or I'll say the secret, man. I just hope whoever I date doesn't listen to this podcast in the future. But the secret is just like, just lie to her about what time
yeah.
to be at work.
It is totally.
It's
No,
like,
this is
just tell her you got to be at work 1 hour after
this
you
is
get
the
there.
ultimate like
Like,
male
"Oh, I'm
hack for so many
so
problems
late."
where like when the guy becomes more and more annoyed by his girlfriend, he's like, oh, sorry, babe, like I've gotta, we've been working super hard, and like now she thinks he's working like 16-hour days because he's coming home at like 9:30 every day, and all his coworkers are like, yeah, he's at work, but he's just there playing like Tetris or whatever the fuck, like scrolling YouTube shorts. It's like, because the alternative is you hide in the bathroom, which now she can see you hiding. But hiding in the office is much more effective and allows you much more freedom. So
This is also like tangentially related to like if you work from home or you work remote or you're an entrepreneur, you either need to have an office
Yes.
that is like a DEFCON 1 situation where like literally this is like a nuclear bunker. Like she is just not allowed to
Yes,
go into the
absolutely.
office. Like the office
She
needs
cannot
to be a
witness
black
you,
box
she
for
cannot
her.
witness you working.
Yes,
dude.
the
It's like-
office needs to be like a teleportation room. Like women can't deal with it. Like in their brain, what happens is like if they ever see you in the room, they will inevitably see that like your work is like mundane. Like it's
Yeah,
just
it's like you're
answering
not
emails
the
or
Wolf of
calling
Wall
people
Street.
or whatever.
You're not yelling at.
It's not even about that. Hold on, let me. And that's another take as well. That it's like you're not the Wolf of Wall Street. This is like a thing of like girls will complain about this. Like I get like, oh, I realized he wasn't the leader in his friend group, or like, oh, I saw his boss like tell him to do something. But the other thing is like that's even worse is like they need to have the illusion that like any time that you're during work calling them or anything, this is like a massive favor, like just a massive, like ungodly, never to be repeated again, one of one
That you're
exception.
like you're
Because
shoving
what happens
aside
otherwise is
92 different meetings to make like time for. Because
yes,
otherwise they
yes.
just always.
I'm
call.
late to 3 meetings
Yeah.
right now. Yes, and I'm leaving early from 3 meetings right now. Also,
I keep
Why
thinking
is
that like
this?
successful, like high earning women will like break this rule and like it won't apply to them. But it just it's like there's no
No.
exceptions theory. Like this is like
Yes, incorrect. Yeah, incorrect. No, what happens is you just have to, you really, really have to create this illusion that you're like warping into the work dimension, and like you just, if you ever respond to her or anything crazy, that's like a huge, value add on top of everything else, and she should never, ever, ever get used to this. And you lie about what time you have to get into work.
it is also like this
And
sounds,
also
this sounds
just,
very
like,
manipulative of us,
make
but I
up-
want to make it clear. Like it is kind of true actually. Like if you're thinking about like
It is manipulative, but it's manipulative from like a kindness.
no, like
point.
it's true also though. Like this is one of those things where genuinely, like if you are focused on work and you are thinking about work things, like the male brain cannot, like we suck ass at multitasking. I
Yes.
cannot go from like thinking about like anything technical, logistics, like operational, and then go to the airy like flirting mode. It doesn't work, right? Like so in order to drag myself out of that, I have to spend like 30 minutes of like getting out of the thing. And then it's like 30 minutes back, right? Like, and also if girls ever see you
Yeah.
pull this switch too quickly, like if you ever get efficient enough at that switch, they start thinking you're a sociopath.
Yes. No, there's a lot of these things where like you just have to because it is like that. Like when you are really, really focused on work, you will just like forget that women exist at all.
And you'll be very bad at like flirting with them, right? Like if she calls you and then she's like, "Oh my God, are you mad at me?" And it's like, this is just how I talk to men. Like I don't flirt with men.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yes, I'm just in a different mode
I'm
right
in the
now.
man
Yes.
mode, bro. Like I'm all about the boys, dude. And we talk like this in a complete monotone.
One day he wakes up and she's just like duct taped the door. Like, and not like a little duct tape. Like there's like another door worth of duct tape outside like on the inside of the door so that he can't open it and leave.
This wouldn't happen if he had a
And,
Milwaukee M18 Sawzall, by the way. I mean, it would still happen, but he would be able to cut through the tape.
I don't even know what that is, man.
Dude, you don't know what a saw?
Oh,
Dude, you're
okay.
so. This is like when you didn't know what a Leatherman was, man. Sayla is just.
Dude, I know what a Swiss Army knife is. I don't know what a Leatherman is, okay?
Yeah, this is.
I found out after this is just like a multi-tool. Like the thing is you're doing the thing where you're like, oh, you don't know what a Loro Piana is. And it's like,
No,
dude,
I'm
I know
not.
like I
This
know what a
is- you
sweater
think-
is.
You think this because you are so removed from the concept of ever using your hands in any capacity. But like, I guarantee you,
Whatever.
I guarantee
man.
you that everybody who's grown up in a real country knows about the Leathermans. Dude, you saw the comments. You saw,
Dude, I
you saw,
grew up in Connecticut. We had Swiss Army knives and that was it, bro.
Dude, you
Like,
saw the comments.
That's what
You
we
saw
had,
the comments
dude.
when you fumbled the Leatherman. Like, I am in the right here. I am 100%. You're the weird one. You cannot gaslight me into thinking this is some.
I'm
niche
just the
brand
Connecticut
knowledge.
guy, man. I don't know this. I grew up in the land of like finance and lawyers, bro. I'm like too abstracted from like any form of real work, okay?
Every girl is listening to this, and they're like, they are drying up.
Dude, there are like no real jobs anymore anyways. But yeah.
Guy
So
says
she
by
does
guy
that,
who
and like
doesn't
all
know
the
what
girls.
a Leatherman is. Guy who doesn't know what a Leatherman is saying,
So-
yeah, there's no, it's all fake jobs.
Let me finish. Let me do my fake podcasting job and finish explaining the fucking movie. Oh my god, man. So
Sayla
all
is
the girls
complaining
leave the
about people
theater.
interrupting him. Isn't that fucking crazy, dude? Wow,
Yeah,
that's. Whoa.
And all the women basically leave the movie theater and they're like, "Oh, loving a man is so evil because he'll force you to be like super into him." And it's like a very strange thing that all the women leave the theater hating men because like men don't have magic
Yeah,
wish
that was-
devices they can use to enslave women. So it's like that part is just totally not real and like very strange. Like what actually would have made a lot of sense is if women left the theater and they were like, God, this bear guy is such a loser. If you just asked her out, like maybe she would have said yes. Like what a turbo loser he is. Like
Catching
that
strays
would have
moment.
been
Catching Strays Award.
that would have actually that would have actually made
Oh.
like a ton of sense. But no, like they leave the theater and they act like it's just exactly like the bear thing where they're like, "Oh, is it worse to be in the woods with a bear or a normal man?" And it's like, "I choose the bear every time." And it's like you understand that like wishes aren't real. Like magical wishes that can make the loser guy that you friend zoned for 5 years. I do think a lot of girls are like very scared of guys they've friend zoned, and it's like, have you considered
They all
just
worry that he
not
might do
having
enough
your like
astrology that he
male
finds out.
slaves around?
He-
Dude, my big thing is like just stop having male slave friends. Like every girl's like, "Oh, I hate simps who like I have friend zone and keep hitting on me." It's like, dude, then like you either are allowed to hate that or you're allowed to have like an army of men around that like do things for you. Like you choose one of these two
I
things.
think you're failing the basic split test where it's like the ideal is always doing the thing that gets you the benefits and then complaining as if it doesn't have any benefits, right? It's like when girls will go on Twitter and they'll be like, dude, it's so hard to be a girl in tech or something. Or like the best was, it's so hard to be a girl in crypto. And it's like, you could have just been anonymous like everyone else and nobody would have known, right?
Dude, no, the best thing is when they go like, oh, like they'll post a thirst trap and then they're like, I hate when people give me so much
Yeah, I
attention.
hate
for my
when
thirst
everybody
trap.
bookmarks this picture of like a close up of my cleavage. And it is just this, like it's this
like
all the time. It's
their
like,
shirt
you
says
do the
like
thing that
the
gets you the
shirt
good.
says like bookmark this.
Yeah. The shirt says bookmark this India.
And they're like, no, that was like that's an abstract joke. Like, don't you get the joke? And it's like, I just don't think that's a joke. Like, why are we entertaining this?
They also have a very funny
dude. My big
conception
thing
of
is like
jokes,
all
right?
I request of people nowadays is honesty. Like I really don't ask for much. I just ask of honesty nowadays. That's like the one thing
I've even lowered my
from people,
standards
pretty
there.
much.
Like I don't even want honesty.
I don't
at this
even
point.
just
I
lie to
want-
me. Wait, you are actually at this level. That's true. You're at like the lie to me skillfully level.
Yeah, I meant the like. I want
You're
you to
like,
tell
you
me
can lie to
a
me.
soothing
Just
lie.
be skillful
Like-
about it. You're like, you're allowed to lie to me. I just need you to be good at it. Like,
I think this is another thing that happens with age too. Is like at a certain point, like I can't hear what I want to hear. Like it's just not possible anymore, right? So the only alternative really is for you to lie to me, or just and better actually. Like I don't necessarily want you to lie. I want you to not address the subject at all. Like I want to be able to basically like hit my head against the wall such that I lose the ability to think about this entire vertical dimension of life, right? And I never have to interface with the thoughts about it.
dude, that's so true. You are actually that. You're like in the just lie to me skillfully enough, dude.
Yeah, it's like the
I'm
ultimate.
begging you. Please.
I think we said this before and we cut it out, but it is the thing. It's like you're out on a date with a girl and like she has like a notification on her phone pop up. And like she like rapidly grabs it and she's like no, this is like my ex and he's going crazy and like he's just such a weird level, and she starts coping and you're just like, dude, like if you had just like not said anything, I would never have looked at your phone because like I want I want it to be like I would pretend for you. You don't have to tell me.
I want to
But
believe
now
you.
you've made it so obvious by coping so badly that like you've shattered my immersion, right? Like I was going to mentally lie for you, and you've completely
Going like immersion shattered is such a funny, like it's like a video game critique. It's so funny to be like, my immersion is like, I knew you weren't my
Right,
girlfriend. Like, I knew you weren't
if I were going to
faithful.
logically think
It's
about it, it's like, yes, I know you're talking to 50 other people, right? But like, I just don't want to think about it, right? So all you have to do,
it's like you're watching a movie where you're like suspending your disbelief.
like, all you have to do is like prevent me from thinking about it in any way. Like, just don't bring it up, right? And it would be so good for
Allow me to
you.
lie my existence. Allow me to cope. Allow me to cope about. That's so funny.
This is also like this out of everything that happened in San Francisco, like this is the one. If I had to give women one piece of advice, it's this. It's like you don't even have to lie.
Yes.
Just don't bring up the things that will make him want to evaporate himself. Right?
Dude, it is just like allow people dignity. Like allow people like a base level of dignity, man. That's the ask, and like I think that's the ask from like the girl side too. Like I do actually, I think I've said the same spiel before on the podcast, but like, dude, if you're a guy, like, yeah, don't follow like 500 Instagram models, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, you know what? Like, come
You
on,
just
dude.
have
Like,
to
try a
avoid doing the
little
things
to
that are
not
gonna
humiliate
get
your
sent
girlfriend.
to like her girls chat and have them all be like,
Dude, it's
you're a
literally
loser.
that. It's
You're
just like,
dating
don't
this
embarrass me in front of my friends. That's where the relationship discourse is at. It's like, it's not even like, don't do the thing. It's just like, don't do the thing in a way that is like embarrassing to me.
Yeah, it's like I will let you do basically like whatever, but like don't like
Yeah, I think, dude, we're leaving it in.
No,
We're
dude, I
leaving it in, bro. Fuck it, dude. So hold on, I'm gonna finish. So the other thing is like, I do think the one thing that girls get really embarrassed about is when they're like 32, 34, 35, and like there's not like a clear pathway to like like whether it's like explicitly marriage or like effectively marriage, but like there has to be a pathway to like this relationship is serious enough that now we're like, this is like the cohabitating cope. Like we're cohabitating. And it's like a lot of girls just need their boyfriend to be like, hey, do you want to move in with me? Like, hey, do you want to? Because like probably a surprising amount of women are like successful career, reasonably good looking, you know, like 28 to like 35 years old in New York City, and like their boyfriend who they played phone tag with 3 times a week and like see once every 2 or 2 every 3 times, like twice every 3 weeks, like does not even let them stay the night over. Like, he's like, I'm having a friend over. Like it's a thing where like everyone in this story is becoming like gender neutral. He's like, well, I'm hanging out with my friend tomorrow, and it would be really inconvenient if you were here. And it's just like, dude, just like go cheat on your girlfriend like out of town, man. Like just don't embarrass her. Just like stop humiliating. But yeah, where were we? So all the women leave the theater like really angry about this thing that isn't real. And all of the guys, I think actually like a lot of them, I think leave the theater being like, you know, like if she was that obsessed with me, it probably wouldn't be that bad. Like it would actually be kind of fun. Like I think this is another thing where like you only hate your girlfriend when she's obsessed with you if you just don't like her. Like and I know I'm sorry to everyone, all the listeners that listen to this with their wife or girlfriend like curled up on the couch. I'm sorry, man. Like I'm giving her so much ammunition, but I do think like maybe I'm
yeah, dude, I
uniquely
was
like
gonna
this.
say I think
but when
I
a
think
girl
this is just you, bro. Like I'm gonna save all of the husbands from their wives who are now glaring at them after
I
Sarah's
think my
fucking
thing is like I'm so
dipshit.
Gen Z that I've just accepted that like whenever a girl is into you, she has to be like there's 2 modes for girl. She's insanely into you or she's like not into you. And those are like the 2 things. There's no like a normal amount of into you. That's not a thing that exists. It's like tracking your likes on twitter.com minute by minute. or like totally ignoring you. Like those are the two states as far as I can tell. So maybe it's just like I've never been exposed to the in between, and I would have it, and I'd be like, oh, this is
There's
pretty
like a bunch
nice.
of people out there that are saying
Um,
like he's just never dated a mature, like independent woman, and it's like I think simultaneously they're coping and
Why
also
would I
you're
want to
coping.
date like dude, I think my thing is like you should cohabit. You should like codependency max. You should date someone where like you're both super codependent.
I'm like the
man.
exact opposite of this now. I'm like you should have a heterosexual lavender marriage where you basically never see each other and then your goal is because you never see each other, like you can almost never embarrass each other, right?
No, I think you go like max codependency mode. That's my thing at this point. Like just go max.
The other really
Just go
funny thing
total
though is if
codependency
you meet up
mode.
with both of us in person and then you guess what we would like, it will always be the opposite of what we said. Like
Yeah.
every single like every single person.
Yeah, we are just doing the thing where like
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah. No,
cool,
every
man.
single person who met us was like, wow, Lucas is like really like optimistic and upbeat from what I would guess based on his tweets. And then Sayla's like the most black-pilled person I've ever met in my entire life. Like,
To be fair, I was like using all my white pill to keep you from like
oh,
literally
look at this. He's like,
killing
oh,
yourself.
like, I only
basically.
died because I
Yeah.
donated my liver to you, dude. Like,
That's kind of what actually happened, man. I was like receiving all of your black I guess.
did you see the new Chinese model that everyone's liking?
Yeah, I think we should talk about that on the next episode. The plausibly deniable
Oh,
experience.
yeah, the Roy one.
With our next
Dude,
guest.
you know, I
It was a
have like a
secret.
basically unlimited subscription to ZAI.
Yes,
I told you.
Lucas keeps walking around like promoting this like the way like a hypebeast kid is like, yeah, bro, I got that new Supreme shirt back in like 2015.
No, but like I haven't even
Lucas
really
walking
used
around,
the
like,
model.
did you know I bought the infinite
I'm
model?
I'm just excited that I was this early to something that nobody knew existed until a
you
week
are
ago.
you are turbo up on this. You and honestly, like you deserve to you deserve it. I think you deserve it. I think it's like very well deserved for you to keep running victory laps around for it.
Woo! Anyway, guys, our boy Sales is drifting off to sleep, so I think we're gonna cut it right about there. Thank you for listening to another episode of Plausibly Deniable, and we hope you all have an absolutely beautiful night. Godspeed, and we will never blight you with discussion of the city of San Francisco ever again. Until next week.